There we go, guys. Got everything up and running now. Of course, a big aloha. Welcome aboard. Glad to have all of you out flying with us at Blue Hawaiian today. My name is Shay. I will be your tour guide. Did everybody get a chance to get the safety briefing inside? You guys get to watch a little video in there, yeah? Awesome, perfect. Well, in that case, we'll go check out our little garden island. We'll have the microphones on throughout the flight today, so feel free to use them. And we'll turn them off just for takeoff and landing because we'll be talking to the air traffic controller. So we'll call them up, get permission to go, and when they let us go, we'll take off from here, turn out over the airport. We'll get up to altitude, we'll bring those microphones back on. So guys, sit back, relax, enjoy the music, enjoy the takeoff. You're in good hands. I've been flying for a long time, and it's absolutely gorgeous out there today. So let's go along. Feel free to use all those cell phones and cameras. Well, let's go check out our little garden island. Let me bring our microphones off for just a moment there.
You want more than you have, you think you need. And when you think more than you want, your thoughts begin to bleed. I think I need to find a bigger place. 'Cause when you have more than you think, you need more space. Society, you're crazy breed. I hope you're not lonely without me. Society, crazy indeed. I hope you're not lonely without me. There's those thinking more or less.
There we go, guys. It's like floating on a magic carpet. Bumping away like Superman.
Score. It means for every point you make, your level drops. Kinda like you're starting from the top. You can't do that. Society, you're a crazy breed. I hope you're not lonely without me.
Oh, that's the good stuff. Love going flying. Every time I go, I see something new. We'll get out over Willy Willy Harbor out in front of us. As we cross the harbor out to the left, we got the lighthouse. Got the Pride of America's the cruise ship in port today, sailing between the Hawaiian Islands. And over everybody's heads this afternoon, we got air conditioning vents. You guys can reach up, make sure those are open, get a little breeze going across your face. If they're closed, you just kind of poke them open, move them around. Get yourself nice and comfortable, start cooling off here. And we do have the comfort bags and the consoles in front of you, chair backs in front of you. And shouldn't be any need for those today, so overall going to be a nice, smooth flight. Might get the occasional bump or wiggle as we get out in the mountains, but yeah, those are no cause for concern, all perfectly normal. There we go. We got the microphones coming on for you now, so feel free to use them. You can use them to talk to each other. Makes it nice and easy. Use them to ask me questions. My name is Shay. And if you want to, Miss Sally, you can sing right along with the music. We'll do karaoke at 3,000 feet. Oh, perfectly fine.
We were advised not to do karaoke.
I'll jump out. I'm a terrible singer myself. Hey guys, picked just a gorgeous day to fly. It's pretty all over the island. It's our little Hula'ia River underneath us on the right. Haupu is the mountain range out in front of us. Tallest peak of Haupu is about 2,000 feet above sea level, to kind of give you a sense of height. So a little bit below that, we're about 1,500 feet up. Oh, making about 115 miles an hour. And we'll cruise out westbound first this morning. Our southern shoreline is just over the mountain range out to the left. Got the little towns of Poipu and Kauai out there on the coast. Little town of Puhi on our right side. We love this little island. I think Kauai is just hands down the prettiest of all the Hawaiian islands. Well, I sort of pretty lucky. I've been out here on the island for about 5 or 6 years flying for Blue Hawaiian and flying helicopters professionally for about 17 years. Originally, I'm all the way from Memphis, Tennessee. My last job, I was flying offshore in the Gulf of Mexico, taking the guys out to the oil rigs. Actually ended up out on Kauai on vacation. Liked the island so much, I applied for a job with Blue Hawaiian while I was on vacation for my other job. Yeah, it worked out pretty well. Been out here ever since. So we got Miss Valerie, Mr. Werner up front, Miss Sally back there, and Mr. Paul. Where's the family visitor from today, Mr. Paul?
Kauai.
Oh, awesome, very cool. Have you guys been up on one of the helicopter tours before? First time up?
I have, but Sally, this is her first time on Kauai.
Awesome, we're glad to have you guys up flying. We don't get too many of the locals out with us. Very cool. Thank you guys for flying with us. And of course, we got Miss Jennifer and Mr. Tom back there. How about you two? Where are you guys visiting from in the world?
Northern New Mexico.
All the way from Mexico. Very cool. First time for you guys out as well? Have you been out before?
To Kauai, we've been to the other islands quite a bit, so we thought we'd check a new one out. Let's go around.
Awesome, yeah, welcome back to the islands. Glad to have you guys out on the Garden Island. Man, we went to Kauai. Little wiggle here as we come down the ridge. So we've actually got really good visibility today. Way out in front of us, off our coast, you can see the island of Niihau, way out in front of us out in the ocean. So that's the little island off the coast today. We'll see it throughout our flight. It'll get a little bigger. Niihau is home to just about 50 native Hawaiians currently. It's a real small population because it's kind of hard to live there by modern standards, right? Like no electricity, no running water, no cell phone service, no airport. Like a boat comes by every couple of weeks to check on the locals out there, so pretty far off the grid, but Town of Kaua on our left, Poipu out on the coast. We have Kalaheo ahead to the left there. Go over there and buzz your house, Mr. Paul. Get all the neighbors mad at us.
No, I don't think so.
There's the tree tunnel into Poipu underneath us on their nose. Out on our road, right, there's our main road on Kauai. We pretty much have one main road here. Doesn't even go all the way around the island, kind of makes a C shape. So we kind of got our main road out there to the right and little side roads off into the neighborhoods. And we'll get a little bit of a wiggle over this ridge line in front of us, and I'm going to bring you down into a pretty valley called Hanapepe, back to a pretty waterfall called Mana Waiapuna Falls. And that's the one that gets the nickname Jurassic Falls. It's where they filmed the scenes, the helicopter landing in the very first Jurassic Park movie. It's filmed out here about 27 years ago. They shot Jurassic Park on Kauai. So we'll get a little wiggle as we get in the valley, and as we get back to the falls, we'll do turns, make sure everybody gets a good view. We'll do that at all the spots we go to today, little turns. So the trick today, Miss Jennifer, see if you can get a selfie with a waterfall in the background as we come flying by. Test your selfie skills. Makalaheo out to the left. Port Allen a little farther down the coast out to the left there. It's a little port. And right before we get into the valley, we cross over a little man-made reservoir up here. And it's kind of a slick setup. We get a lot of rain in the center of Kauai. So they got a little man-made reservoir up here, and they just kind of catch the rainwater as it comes by. And as they need the water, they send it out to the coffee farms on the left. All the dark green fields out there on the coast, that's all part of the largest coffee farm in the United States. So that's one of our big exports nowadays from Kauai.
There's our house.
Yeah, we always try to avoid flying directly over the neighborhood. If we have to go around for weather, we'll go way out there by the ocean to not buzz the homes. But I live over in Kauai on the east side, so that's kind of one of the alternate weather routes for the helicopters. So if they get bad weather out there, they come right over Kauai town. So every now and then I'm looking outside and like, oh, guys got funky weather on the island somewhere. Into the Hanapepe Valley we go. Little wiggle coming in. There's Manawaiapuna Falls coming into view on the nose, 36 stories tall, 360 feet. And as we fly through the valley, I want you to constantly look around. You'll see waterfalls down to the left, down to the right. Now notice back here, no roads, no hiking trails, no infrastructure of any kind. It's perfectly preserved and unspoiled. And that's true for about 85% of Kauai. The vast majority of this island's completely untouched. That's what makes a helicopter flight here so special. You could live here your entire life and never see these waterfalls. Simple fact, they're hard to reach. This one's about 17 miles from the nearest road. As a helicopter landed at the base of the falls today, they got some professional photographers out there working today. I'm not quite sure what their project is going to be. My buddy Brody's actually flying that chopper down there today. Little wiggle as we come around here to the right. We'll see some of the smaller waterfalls in the valley wall out to the right. Manawaiapuna Falls down low on our left side. That's Kahili Falls up high on the left there, Miss Sally. 5 smaller waterfalls up there. I'll bring those back on the right in just a moment. I like all those little guys popping out of the trees. It's pretty amazing. We have almost 10,000 waterfalls on this island. It's pretty amazing. Kahili Falls on our right side. That's what they call the 5 Sisters. I think we need to incorporate a landing in one of our tours and come out here and swim in the waterfalls a little bit. Be a good day to swim in a waterfall. We'll make our way across the Hanapepe Valley and out to the southwest side of Kauai. We'll go cruise out to our pretty canyons next. Now it's pretty neat. We get a lot of rain in the center of Kauai. It's actually one of the rainiest spots on the whole planet. But it's kind of neat the way the weather works here. It's actually the shape of the island, the shape of the mountains helps determine where the rain falls. So we actually end up with 7 different climate zones on Kauai. And you can see the valley we're in. It's very green, very lush. A lot of rain through here, of course. But when we cross that far ridge line, we cross one of the climate zones, and you instantly see the change. The canyons on the other side, they only get about 8 inches of rain a year, so a lot less rain out there means a lot less vegetation. That leaves the volcanic rock exposed. There's a lot of iron in the volcanic rock. So we'll see all these pretty red colors throughout the canyon. That's all from iron oxide, basically rust, that gives us the pretty red colors in the canyons. Little wiggle here as we climb up. There's our pretty canyons coming into view. We'll cross out over Olokele Canyon first and make our way out to the Waimea Canyon. That's one of the things I think is so cool here, just how quick the island changes, because it really is small, right? Kauai is only about 30 miles across. It goes from amazing canyons to tropical rainforests, some of the prettiest beaches in the world. A little bit of everything on a tiny little island. Now with our wildlife out here, now truthfully we really don't have any animals that are too exotic, right? Like no snakes on the island, which I personally like. And we don't have the mongoose like you find on the other Hawaiian islands. Most all the animals you find on Kauai were brought here as livestock at some point in the island's history. So we've ended up with a lot of farm animals out in the wild, basically. A lot of wild goats, pigs. We got some axis deer out here. World famous chickens and roosters. Got a few of those running around. Those have always been my favorites, though. I like all the little baby chicks when they're following the hens around. But one reason you see all the chickens, there's no predators here of any kind. No snakes. We don't have mongoose that eat chicken eggs. No hawks, eagles, foxes, coyotes, anything like that.
Let me hear you now. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where I'm gonna go when the volcano blows.
We got the Waimea Canyon coming into view in front of us. Now this is the area they call the Grand Canyon of the Pacific. All part of our state park system out here on Kauai. The main canyon we'll fly through today. It's about 10 miles long, about 3,000 feet deep, about 1.5 miles wide.
You better love me now or love me not. Let me say now, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where I'm gonna go when the volcano blows. Mr. Utley.
Welcome to the Waimea Grand Canyon of the Pacific. The only paved road out in this entire area is on the canyon rim above us to the left, so a real pretty drive up there at the top of Waimea, a little 2-lane road up to the top. But I think what's kind of neat about flying through here is you can see the history of the island a little bit. You can see these horizontal lines on the canyon walls of the layers in the rock. What you're actually seeing there are the layers of lava that built up Kauai. That's the way all these islands are born. Lava flow on top of lava flow, the island got bigger and bigger. In the case of Kauai, our volcano went extinct about 4 million years ago, which gave the Waimea River down there plenty of time to carve out and shape the canyon. But you really don't see canyons like this on the other islands, basically because Kauai is so much older. We've had a lot more time for this erosion to occur, but really pretty. I want to bring you back to another pretty waterfall called Waipo'o. It is 800 feet tall. It's actually one of the popular day hikes on this side of the island called the Canyon Trail Hike. It's about an hour out and an hour back to the top of the fall, so you don't need much. A couple big bottles of water, a couple granola bars, you're good to go. There's Waipo'o Falls coming into view on the right, about 800 feet tall. Sometimes we'll see hikers on that red dirt hill to the left of the upper waterfall. That's where the trail comes down. See if we can spot any up there today. This one's kind of fun because it's such a popular day hike. Last year on Halloween we had two people in those inflatable T-Rex costumes that you see in all the internet memes. They were just up here dancing on top of the waterfall, so I got to see some dinosaurs out there one day. Every now and then we get some skinny dippers in the upper waterfall. Yeah, on that little slope there, a couple little white dots. It's an adult hiker in a white t-shirt. All the way down the canyon. I always like the lighting out here in the afternoon. We'll climb out of the Waimea Canyon State Park into Kauai State Park. So those little white birds, those are long-tailed white tropic birds. They like to nest on vertical surfaces, so we see them here in the canyon and out on the Nepali coast. Little island of Niihau back off our coast. See State Road 550 underneath us on both sides. That's where you can make the drive up. This Kauai State Park on top of Waimea Canyon up here is a big recreational area. Like on our left side is a hunting zone. Local hunters come up here and bow hunt for pigs. Very traditional in the Hawaiian culture. There's a little reservoir out to our right. They breed rainbow trout in there to stock the streams on the island. So some weekends you can come fish out of the reservoir. You can rent cabins, you can camp in tents. There's 4x4 trails through the forest here, hiking trails to the canyons and the sea cliffs. It's a little bit of hunting, fishing, backpacking, hiking, camping up here. A couple years ago we had a forest fire up here. It was accidentally started by humans. This campfire got out of control. So that's this little bare spot we'll cross over. And after the fire, all the trees were killed by the flames. So they cut down the burned out trees. And at the time, they planted a bunch of saplings in the ground. So we'll see some of the younger trees that have come up. But we got pretty lucky with this. They got a firefighting helicopter out here pretty quick, because you can imagine it could have been pretty bad. It could have just taken the whole state park out here with it. Now, some of our other islands, Maui and Big Island in particular, we have the observatories on top of the telescopes, right? They got the big telescopes, they're watching the stars. Kauai out here, we have a geophysics observatory, which is on top of the hill to the right. So a little different, no telescopes there. They're tracking satellites in orbit. That's operated by NASA. And we have some equipment operated by the U.S. Navy on our left side. That's some of their radar equipment out there. So a little bit of equipment out here operated by the Navy, the Air Force, and NASA. So we're pretty high tech out here on Kauai. You can shoot across if you want to, Miss Valerie. I just can't turn in that way. We're staying just outside their airspace. Sometimes the Navy gets a little upset if we go buzzing through there. We'll cross this next ridge line in front of us, Nu'ulo'lo. We're going to come offshore on the very pretty western side of Kauai, the Pali coast. Sunshine helicopters out in front of us. Nu'ulo'lo Ridge out here is a very popular hike. It got voted top hike in the state of Hawaii a couple years ago by Backpacker magazine, which they do a different trail every year, but pretty cool. They did one of our Kauai trails, so sometimes we'll see the hikers right out here on the edge. Welcome to the Pali coast. Very pretty western side of Kauai. That's one of our coral reefs down on the left where they do the guided snorkel trips. How clear that water is today. It's like Windex blue. We can see down into about 200 feet of water out here some days. There's no roads to this side of Kauai. You can come to the Nepali by helicopter, by boat. Under normal conditions, you can hike out here, about 11 miles of hiking to reach those beaches. But we had some pretty severe flooding on our north shore last year. It actually damaged the road where you access the hiking trail. So currently, you cannot make the hike out here. Should be open in just a couple more weeks. They were saying at the end of April it'll all be opened up. So we'll come offshore here a little bit and lose about a little bit of altitude before we come back into the sea cliffs. There's a little helicopter over there. I'm gonna let him get out of our way. Honopu Beach and Valley on the right, Kalalau Beach and Valley on the left. Cathedral's out in front of us, beautiful rock formation here. This is all public land, this is all state park. It's like in summer months, people kayak to the beaches and camp out. Normally that hiking trail's open, you get backpackers out here all year long. Of course you get the sightseeing catamarans, snorkel boats out here. If you got your own personal boat, you can bring it around. Boat out here today. I always think so much of this island so pretty because like areas like this, there's not even really a lot of topsoil, but this volcanic rock is very porous. So you get all the ferns and the moss and the trees and the grass. They can get their roots right into the tiny holes in the lava rocks. It's kind of like a chia pet on a massive scale. shelter down there for the backpackers that hike the Kalalau Trail. I'll show you that Kalalau Trail from there. It's currently closed while they're working on the roads on our north shore, but it's pretty neat because it's like an old Hawaiian highway. It connected a village in Kalalau Valley, which is underneath us, to a village on the north shore over 100 years ago. It's considered to be one of the top 10 hikes on the planet by National Geographic. Considered to be pretty dangerous as well, or how narrow it is in sections. Part of the Kalalau Trail down to the left, red trail going through the green trees right behind that knob of rock. On our left side, comes underneath our nose, out on the right. It's 12 to 18 inches wide right through there. That's an 800-foot drop with no fence. That's why they consider it dangerous. It's that little bitty slash on the hillside. And we get this really unique folded look out here on the Nepali coast, the grooves in the mountains. This was actually all sculpted by waterfalls over the years. So just a moment I'll show you Kaua Falls. We can kind of see how that erosion occurs in real time, how the Nepali gets its shape. Kaua Falls on our right side, 1,200 feet tall, carving this little groove in the rocks. Waihuakua, smaller waterfall on the nose. Clear the water is, you can see the sections of coral reef on the bottom. Makes a little camouflage pattern down there. We'll come down to the end of the coast here, make another little turn so we can get pictures all the way down to Nepali. Bali High is the mountain at the end of the coast with the three little peaks. Below that's Kauai Beach, curves around the corner. A little farther down, Tunnels Reef, white horseshoe shape. We'll come down and swing all that on the left. And as we do, we can get pictures all the way down the coast.
It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Oh yes, I can make it now. The pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared.
Kauai Beach out to our right. Tunnels Reef a little farther down to the right. White horseshoe shape. I think it's a really cool way to check out the coast, because where the road ends, you really can't see down the Napali. The only way to kind of take it all in is by aircraft or by boat. Bali High out to the left, 3 little peaks. Below that, KA Beach curves around the corner. Tunnels Reef a little farther down, White Horseshoe shape. We'll come down the coast a little bit farther here and cut back into the interior. That was a big wave that just hit. Through water like 200 feet in the air. That's one of the things we get out here, and it's pretty much sunny and 77 Fahrenheit here all year long. We really don't get a big seasonal change like you do on the mainland. We don't get the spring, the fall, the winter. The big seasonal change we get, though, is the size of the waves and the direction of the swell. So basically really big waves on the north shore in the winter months. So we get 50 and 60 foot waves up here. They were about 14 foot a couple days ago. This north shore we're coming down is probably my favorite side of Kauai. So I live on the east side, Kauai town, but I just spend a lot of my days off up here. I come up and boogie board and surf quite a bit this time of year. In the summer months I'll come up here and snorkel and scuba dive. So it's actually up here Wednesday doing a little surfing. We'll stay offshore of the little town of Hawaiian on our right, and then we'll come back into the interior in just a moment.
Wishing I was deep in the water somewhere. Got the blue sky breeze and it don't seem fair. Only worry in the world is the tide gonna reach my chair. Sunrise, there's a fire in the sky. Never been so happy, never felt so high. And I think I might have found me my own kind of paradise.
But kind of where we're at, the 2 white buildings ahead to the right there, that is Princeville Resorts, town of Princeville. Big crescent-shaped bay is Hanalei Bay. Long straight beach is Lumahai, town of Hawaiian on our right. We'll come in over Lumahai Beach and put Hanalei and Princeville out on the left. So we always try not to buzz the little towns there, keep our neighbors happy with us.
Is my only medication, wishing my condition ain't ever gonna go away.
'Cause now I'll be deep in the water somewhere. Got the blue sky breeze blowing wind through my hair. Only worry in the world is the tide gonna reach my chair. Sunrise, there's a fire in the sky. Never been so happy, never felt so high. And I think I might have found me my own kind of paradise. This champagne shore washing over me.
It's a sweet, sweet life, living by the salty sea.
One day you could be as lost as me.
Change your geography. Maybe
Lumahai Beach on the nose, town of Hawaiian on the right, Tunnels Reef on the right, Princeville on the left, the white buildings. Town of Hanalei at the back of the bay. They farm taro up here, which is a vegetable similar to a potato. They make modern food products like veggie burgers out of taro. Traditional Hawaiian foods like poi. That's what they grow in the fields there. And last year all the floods heavily damaged our roads up here, so you can see over there on the right they're still doing repairs. They're supposed to have everything opened up in a couple of weeks, but currently you can drive to Hanalei, but you cannot drive into Hawaiian town unless you're a resident of that town. There's a special convoy in and out a couple times a day for people that live there just because the road's too narrow to have cars and construction equipment going on at the same time. We'll come around the backside of Hanalei and up to Mount Namalokama.
not too big, facts kind of small. The people there know they got it all. A simple life for me. Helio to Kauai, and I lay by the bay. Wailua River Valley is where I used to play. The canyons of Waimea, standing all alone. The magic of the garden now is calling me back home. When I was young, not too smart, I left my home looking for a brand new start, to find a place that's better still.
Some trees knocked down on our nose from wind damage. We had a big windstorm up here a few weeks ago. That's kind of what happened to those trees. This is Mount Namalokama on our right side. The very top of the mountain's about 4,000 feet above sea level. The tallest waterfall we see on the face of the mountain, Namalokama Falls, is about 2,000 feet tall. So it's kind of down to a trickle today, but I always think this one's really pretty because it's usually going up into the clouds. So we'll come in here and look a little closer. This is kind of cool. If you look out to the left, you're looking at the north shore of Kauai. As you come over the gap and the mountain, look way out to the right. The mountains and the ocean's way out there in the distance. That's the south shore. You're looking all the way across the island, north shore on our left, to the south shore on our right, about 33 miles across here. So it's kind of cool. You get up here and see how small it all actually is. Going to bring us up this Hanalei River Valley right to the center of Kauai. As we come up the valley itself, you'll notice lots of little waterfalls down to the left and right, all through the valley here. And where I want to bring you back to, it's the very back of this Hanalei River Valley, right in the center of Kauai. We have Mount Waialeale. Now it's the top of Mount Waialeale, the center of the island. It's one of the rainiest spots on all of planet Earth. So most days on Kauai, the beaches all the way around are nice and sunny. Back here in the middle, we get about 500 inches of rain a year, which is an incredible amount. The way that translates, it rains back here every single day except for 30 days out of an entire year. Kind of works out to like 2, maybe 3 days a month it doesn't rain. And overall, that's the secret to Kauai. That's why our little island's so green. Got all the rivers and waterfalls, but a lot of rain. And Mount Waialeale, in addition to the rain, is also the volcano that formed Kauai. The volcano's extinct now. We don't see lava here anymore. But we can actually fly right inside that extinct volcano. That's where I want to take you to next, because it's always a good day when you get to fly inside a volcano. One of the last eruptions on Kauai caused the east wall of the volcano to collapse. That gives us a little V-shaped notch into the interior. And it's very green in there. You'd kind of expect a black lava rock. We have that. Because of all the rain, it's covered in ferns and moss. Waterfalls inside the crater about 3,000 feet tall. There's a little bit of rain starting up for the day. Get all the bugs off my window. We'll cross that next ridge line. We're going to make our turn inside that extinct volcano, and I'll get you back just as far as I can today. It's always really fun to come in here because it's another one of those spots that people have lived on Kauai their whole lives, never been back here. You can hike in, but it's extremely difficult. Across the ridge and into the volcano we'll go. Welcome to the heart of Kauai. Welcome to Mount Waialeale. And to the crater we go. That's a cool spot to get into. We'll cruise out of the crater here and cross the jungles on the east side of Kauai. Almost time to make our way back home. We'll start flying out towards Lahui. And we'll get up to the little lakes out in front of us. I'll bring our microphones off so we can check in with Lahui Tower. We'll be into their airspace in a few minutes. Before we get here and I get too busy on the radio, so I would certainly like to say mahalo. Thank you kindly for coming out and flying with me on such a pretty day. Certainly on behalf of myself and Blue Hawaiian, we'd love to invite you to fly with us again. Anytime, any island. We'd certainly appreciate you flying with us again, Mr. Paul. And if you guys have any friends that ask about your flight, I hope you wouldn't mind doing me a favor. Tell them all about us. We like sharing the islands of Blue Hawaiian. When we get landed this afternoon, our ground staff will come out and open and close the doors for you, so we'll let them get the doors. When you exit out of the aircraft, kind of watch your step down, go out towards the nose. We have a blue square painted on the ground. So go right to that blue square and wait. Staff will bring you up for pictures. When everyone's done, they'll bring you back inside the office. If you like, you can leave reviews of your flight. We got the computers and comment cards in there. Let us know your thoughts on the tour. I'm going to bring our microphones off for just a moment here so we can call up the tower. There we go. We got permission into the airspace. We'll start making our way back home. Got Sleeping Giant Mountain out to the left, good for day hikes. Little town of Wailua on our left. City of Lahui ahead to the right. Rock out to Little Lilo and Stitch as we come in here. Cows underneath us on both sides. What a fully grown cow looks like from the air. They actually still work this ranch by horseback, so every now and then we see the cowboys on horseback out here. A Paniolo. There's our landing clearance.
on the way to Hawaii. There's no place I'd rather be, lingering in the ocean blue. I'd surf till the sun sets beyond the horizon, flying by on the Hawaiian roller coaster ride. Miki miki mai rohi rohi, la 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 la. Hey hey my tattoo hey. There's no place I'd rather be.
There we go. We got those microphones coming back on for you now. And so I hope you guys enjoyed the flight this afternoon. Hope you enjoy your stay on Kauai. And for our locals there, appreciate you guys coming out and flying with us again.
Awesome work. Thank you.
It's a good day out there for it.
Thank you, Shay.
Awesome. Thank you.